My beloved child, I invite you to pause for a moment, to quiet the rush of your thoughts, and listen to the gentle whisper of my heart calling out to you. For I have come to remind you of a love that transcends every sorrow, every doubt, and every fear you might be facing at this moment. And I do this because you mean more to me than you could ever imagine. I am here to tell you that I have never once left your side, not in the moments of triumph, and certainly not in those moments when you felt you were walking through darkness all alone. For even in the deepest valley, my light remains steadfast. Do not allow your spirit to be weighed down, thinking you must wander this journey on your own, because I am ever present, carrying you through life's storms and rejoicing with you in its sunny fields. Believe this truth, my precious one, for I will always be your guiding hand. And in that assurance, step forward with fresh confidence and faith. You are never forgotten, and you are never forsaken. For I, the one who formed you with infinite care, hold you close even when you struggle to sense my touch upon your life. I have cherished you from the dawn of your days, knitting every fiber of your being together in a tapestry more intricate than any human mind can fully comprehend, and no moment of your existence goes unnoticed by me. Do not doubt the love I offer or assume that your burdens are too large, for I am larger still, and my power is more than enough to carry you through the fiercest storms. Let your heart be lifted by these words, trusting that a brighter future lies ahead, full of my provision and grace. I see you as a treasure, more precious than the most resplendent jewel, and I delight in you because you carry a reflection of my own nature deep within your soul. When the world around you seems to dismiss your worth or discount the beauty of your spirit, remember that I have breathed my breath into you, thereby granting a dignity that no earthly power can take away. Do not be tempted to compare yourself to others or to measure your significance by fleeting standards, for you are unique and irreplaceable in my eyes, designed with a singular destiny that I intend to fulfill in your life. Stand tall with hope in your heart, for my plans for you will never fail. Even when you feel small and unnoticed, as though your voice echoes unheard in empty corridors, I am there, listening to every prayer you whisper in solitude. I understand the quiet desperation you might hide behind your daily routines, the yearning you carry for acceptance, validation, or just a simple sign that your life holds meaning in the grand tapestry of time. Do not be afraid to share even your most fragile hopes with me, for I am the one who binds up the brokenhearted and heals every wound that seems beyond repair. Rest tonight in the assurance that, even in your smallest gestures of faith, you are pleasing me greatly, and tomorrow will bring a renewed sense of possibility. Yes, I know the struggles that lurk in the corners of your mind, the ones you try so hard to bury or handle on your own, thinking that if you appear strong enough, you might conquer them alone. Yet do not forget that I am your heavenly Father who formed your heart and mind, and I see beyond every layer of pretense or self-protection, gazing deeply into those hidden parts where tears are stored. I know the worries that surface in the silent hours of the night, the questions about your future, your family, your health, your finances, or your worth, and I am speaking calm to every raging storm within. Surrender those anxieties into my open hands and trust that I hold all things in perfect control, for I do not fail nor falter. When your spirit feels weighed down by the overwhelming demands placed upon you, whether from work, relationships, or the expectations you impose on yourself, remember that I invite you to place every burden upon my shoulders. I am not a distant observer, aloof from your pain, but rather a loving Father who aches with you, who stands with arms wide open, ready to shoulder the weight you find too heavy to carry. Do not believe the lie that you must present yourself as flawless before you come to me. I desire your sincere heart, no matter how frayed it may feel. Take courage in my promise, for I am well able to replace every ounce of fear with a measure of my unstoppable grace. I see the dreams you carry in your heart, those fragile hopes you've held on to for so long, and sometimes it grieves me when you feel tempted to abandon them because the road looks too long or the obstacles too formidable. Yet do not fear the difficulties that loom on the horizon, for in my eyes, no mountain is immovable, and no barrier is impenetrable, and I can speak life to every barren place. I know how each step of faith you take can feel shaky at first, but I promise you that with each effort to trust, I will steady you and protect you from falling. Lean into my strength and rise each day with the knowledge that nothing can extinguish the light I have placed in your spirit. When the winds of adversity howl around you, lashing against your sense of peace, do not let your heart be carried away by the storm, for I am your shelter and your bulwark. In the face of trials that threaten to overshadow hope, remember that I am the light that will never fade, and my word is the compass to guide your steps when uncertainty seems to overwhelm. Cling to my words of truth, and do not give in to the temptation to quit or succumb to despair, for my hands are firmly around you, ensuring you will not be shaken. Keep moving forward, child, for I have prepared a new dawn that will reveal the brilliance of my goodness. Many times you might feel that your faith wavers, as though you are desperately trying to hold on to a slender cord of hope in a world where skepticism abounds. I say to you that your faith matters immensely, and even if it seems small to you, I treasure it beyond measure, for you have chosen to believe in my promises. I cherish every moment you lift your eyes to seek me, every tear you shed in earnest prayer, and every time you dare to trust in my power rather than the shifting opinions of those around you. Do not underestimate the might of a believing heart, for I am the one who multiplies the little that you offer into a bountiful harvest of miracles yet unseen. I have watched as you endured seasons of heartbreak and loss, times when it felt as though everything stable was crumbling around you, and I want you to know that I did not turn my face away. Instead, I grieved with you, deeply aware of your pain, holding you close in the realm of my spirit, even when you felt distant. Though it might not always be obvious to your human eyes, I am working continually to bring beauty out of the ashes and redemption out of brokenness. For my plan for your life does not end in despair. Believe that there is a greater tapestry being woven, one that will reveal my perfect love and restore what you thought was lost forever. When loneliness grips your heart, telling you that no one truly understands your silent battles, remember that my companionship far surpasses any earthly companionship. Though people may come and go, and relationships may falter, I remain steadfast, a faithful friend who knows every detail of your journey. Do not let isolation convince you that you are destined to walk alone, for I am speaking to you now, assuring you that my shoulder is never withdrawn, my ear is always tuned to your cries, and my love is a balm for every wound. Embrace this promise, precious child, and find solace in the warmth of my everlasting embrace. I am your shield, an unyielding barrier against forces that seek to wear you down, and in my presence, you can take refuge. Picture me standing before you, absorbing every fiery dart aimed at your heart, blocking the onslaught of discouragement that tries to take root. Yes, troubles in life may still arise, but I will ensure they do not consume you, for my protective care sets limits on what the storms of life can accomplish. Cling to this assurance with unshakable hope, for even when everything else shifts, my covenant of protection remains unwavering. I hear the doubts that arise in your mind, those quiet whisperings that say perhaps you are not worthy of my attention. Perhaps your past mistakes disqualify you from my grace. Cast off those accusing voices and know that I, the one who formed you, look upon you with unblemished love, for my mercy covers every wrongdoing when you come to me in honest repentance. Do not let shame keep you from drawing near, because I delight in mending the wounds of regret and setting you on a new path of wholeness. Hold your head high, refusing the lies of condemnation, and enter each new day with confidence that I have washed you clean. I am aware of every conflict that arises in your family, every misunderstanding that causes strife, and every burden you carry for those closest to you, wishing for peace to reign. In my great compassion, I see the heartaches that remain unspoken, the sighs you release into the quiet of night as you wonder if reconciliation is truly possible. Do not despair, for my healing power can soften even the hardest hearts and restore the bonds that seem irreparably severed. Bring your family before me in prayer, and trust that I can breathe new life into what appears dry and lifeless, guiding you toward unity and understanding. Though you may be pressed on every side by demands, hardships, or fears of the unknown, let your heart not sink into the shadows of despair, for I am the light that dispels every darkness. I stand ready to dispel confusion, to clarify your path, and to fill your spirit with fresh resolve. Draw near to me in prayer, and you will discover that my light is not a distant star, but rather a radiant presence enveloping your soul. May this truth spur you on, giving you the courage to face each day with steadfast faith, for I have promised to guide your steps. Do not fear your enemies, whether they be external criticisms or the internal battles that taunt your mind, for I am the mighty warrior who fights on your behalf. In the grand story of your life, I champion your cause, and I do not leave you defenseless, for my protective arm is your fortress. Even when you think you stand outnumbered, remember how I have triumphed again and again throughout the history of my people, and rest assured, I will continue to do so in your personal struggles. Let this knowledge stir your soul to hope, for greater is my power in you than any threat that may arise. I know the dreams and aspirations you have nurtured in your heart since childhood, the little seeds of possibility that seemed so alive when you were younger. As life progressed and obstacles arose, perhaps you wondered if those dreams were too grand, if they were illusions best left to more hopeful times. Yet I say to you, I place those sparks of inspiration within you to be ignited by my guidance. And while some may change shape, they need never be lost entirely. Bring those long-buried hopes back to the surface and trust me to breathe new life into them, for I specialize in resurrecting what has lain dormant. When sorrow weighs you down because of a loss so profound you can scarcely form the words to describe it, know that I hold each tear that falls from your eyes. I do not dismiss your grief or expect you to move on without acknowledging the depth of your pain, for I created you with the capacity to feel deeply and love deeply. Lean on me in these times, speaking the raw truth of your hurt in prayer, and discover that I am a comforter who remains present in every chapter of your story. Trust that though the night may seem long, joy will come, ushered in by my gentle grace. I take delight in every small act of kindness you show, for each display of compassion toward others reflects my own heart of mercy. When you feed the hungry, clothe the cold, or speak a word of encouragement to a weary soul, you honor the love I have poured into your life. Do not underestimate how a single deed performed in love can ripple outward, testifying to the goodness that stands firm in a weary world. Continue to be my hands and feet, letting love guide your every step, for in doing so, you align your heart with mine, and you help to illuminate the darkness around you. There are moments when you sense my presence clearly, when worship swells in your heart, and you feel lifted beyond the cares of the moment. But there are also seasons when your prayers seem to echo in silence, when you wonder if your pleas have been lost in the vastness of the heavens. Know this, I hear every syllable spoken. I am near to each breath you exhale in longing, and even when you cannot feel me, my love for you remains unchanged. Remind yourself of this unshakable truth, For in clinging to me through both joy and sorrow, your faith becomes refined like pure gold. I have traced every step you take, going before you to prepare the path, walking beside you to offer my counsel, and standing behind you to guard against unseen dangers. There is no moment when my sight of you is obstructed, no detail of your life that I overlook, and no prayer you offer that I fail to register in the courts of heaven. Though you may think that your current challenges are unique and incomprehensible, my reach extends far beyond your limitations, and my power can orchestrate miracles on your behalf. Take comfort in my enduring presence and venture forward with renewed bravery. When fear tries to paralyze you, whispering that you are inadequate, that failure is imminent, or that you cannot possibly overcome the hurdles before you, remember the countless testimonies of my children who have walked through valleys far darker. Did I not deliver them, guiding them to higher ground, turning their mourning into dancing and their despair into songs of hope? I have not changed. I remain the same faithful Father who meets you in your distress, lifts your weary head, and places your feet upon a rock-solid foundation. Let courage be your companion, for you walk with the one who commands winds and waves. There will be seasons when you wonder if all your obedience and perseverance have been in vain, when it feels like you have poured love, energy, and resources into a cause or relationship only to see minimal results. My beloved, never doubt that I work beyond what your eyes can perceive, cultivating fruit in hidden places, orchestrating timely alignments, and shaping your character through the waiting. In every tear of frustration you shed, I am present, storing up treasures of blessing that will emerge at the proper moment. Keep sowing with hope, for the harvest will come, and it will exceed your expectations. You may worry about the state of the world, the conflicts you read about, and the injustices that seemingly have no resolution, feeling overwhelmed by the magnitude of problems you cannot fix. Yet I remind you that I am sovereign, and my reign extends over every corner of creation. Nothing escapes my notice, and though the tapestry of events may appear chaotic to you, I am weaving it into a greater design that ultimately reveals my goodness and glory. Let this truth settle your spirit, and do not grow weary, for I have a role for you to play as a channel of love and peace wherever you go. Know that I rejoice every time you turn your heart toward me, even in the smallness of a sigh that says, "I need you, Lord," and in the whispered prayers you offer while going about your daily tasks. My joy abounds when you make me your refuge in times of stress and your delight in moments of peace. Do not think you have to perform grand gestures to please me. A sincere heart is a radiant gift in my sight. Keep coming to me, child, and find that in my presence is fullness of joy and unending reassurance. Do not fear tomorrow's uncertainties, for I am already there, standing in your future with arms wide open, beckoning you to walk forward in faith. Look at the birds of the air, how they neither sow nor reap, yet I provide for them daily. Consider the lilies of the field, which I clothe in splendor that surpasses the richest garments. Will I not do much more for you whom I love? Let go of the anxiety that ties your heart in knots, and bring every concern to me in prayer, for I delight in providing for your needs in ways that magnify my love. Rest in this promise, secure in the knowledge that I am the guardian of your tomorrows. You might find yourself wrestling with old regrets, replaying past mistakes, and wondering if your life would be more blessed if only you had chosen differently. I assure you that I waste nothing, and every part of your story, both the successes and the missteps, can be transformed into a testimony of my redemptive grace. You are not bound by what lies behind you. I extend my hand of mercy, offering fresh starts, new mercies each morning, and the power to leave shame in the past. Trust me to turn every scar into a story of healing and walk forward, knowing my grace is sufficient for you. Sometimes you may struggle to find the words to pray, feeling that your heart is heavy with too many concerns and that your mind cannot form coherent sentences. Remember, I do not require polished speeches or elaborate formulas. I look upon the sincerity of your heart. Even a silent plea or a tear shed in my presence resonates with my spirit, who intercedes on your behalf with sighs deeper than words. Do not let your struggles in prayer keep you from coming to me. Instead, come with whatever you have and watch how my compassion fills in every gap with endless love. I want you to live in the liberty of knowing that no chain can hold you when you abide in me, for I have called you to freedom. Should condemnation attempt to shackle you, remember the cross that stands as the emblem of my redeeming power, breaking every curse and releasing you into the fullness of my grace. Embrace the reality that you are free indeed, no longer bound by sin, shame, or fear, because I have declared you my beloved, and what I declare is irrevocable. Take that bold step of faith and live each day unafraid, under the banner of my perfect love. I have placed within you gifts and talents that are meant to shine, to bring light and hope into the corners of the world you touch. Do not bury these gifts or diminish them by comparing yourself to others, for each calling is unique, and your contribution to my kingdom is essential in its distinct way. Offer up what you have, even if it appears small, and see how I can multiply your abilities to accomplish great feats of love, service, and transformation. Step into your purpose with zeal, for I am the one who anoints you to make an impact far beyond your imagination. When you feel misunderstood, when others criticize or fail to see the purity of your intentions, turn your gaze to me, knowing that I see your heart in its entirety. I understand the motives behind your actions and the love that drives you to serve, even if human recognition never arrives. Do not let the approval of others be your measure of worth, for the applause of people is fleeting, but my affirmation is eternal. Stand firm in the confidence that I am proud of you, my dear child, and let that knowledge be the bedrock of your identity. In times of weariness, when your body and spirit both feel drained from the constant push and pull of daily demands, come and find rest in my presence. I do not ask you to strive endlessly or meet impossible standards. I invite you to rest, to be renewed, and to breathe in the peace that only I can provide. Lay down your burdens at my feet, releasing the tension from your heart, and allow my spirit to fill you with rejuvenating hope. Embrace this rest, for in stillness you will hear my voice more clearly, guiding you with a gentle but unwavering hand. I am your refuge in every storm, a place of safety when the waves threaten to sink your boat, and even when you do not see the shore, know that I am in the boat with you. Yes, the winds may roar and the waters may crash, but they will not swallow you. For I have decreed that you shall pass through to the other side. Keep your eyes on me, the master of wind and wave, and trust that nothing can derail the plans I have set for you. Renew your faith in the midst of adversity, confident that my authority holds every chaotic element in check. I have watched how you persevere, even when your heart feels heavy, even when the odds seem stacked against you, and I commend your resolve. But remember, I do not need you to be perfect. I simply invite you to persevere in drawing near to me. In your moments of weakness, my strength is revealed all the more, for it is then that you realize how deeply dependent you are on my sustaining grace. Continue onward, trusting that my power is made perfect in your frailty, and rejoice in the truth that I will never abandon you. No matter what voices in the world claim, you are not alone, for I am always with you, enveloping you in my infinite love. Even if your heart aches with the longing for companionship or affirmation that seems absent, my presence stands constant and unshakable. I promise you that you are precious in my sight, a soul worth redeeming, a life worth defending, and a child worth guiding. trust that my arms will forever remain open, drawing you into an embrace that no darkness can penetrate. I celebrate your efforts to seek me, whether through quiet meditation, singing hymns, reading scripture, or helping your neighbors with a joyful spirit. Every act of devotion, no matter how humble, warms my heart, for it tells me that you desire to honor the relationship we share. Do not fall into the trap of comparing your spirituality with that of others, for each journey is unique and precious to me. Allow my love to encourage your growth, shaping you steadily into the child I have always envisioned, and keep your eyes fixed on the deeper things of my kingdom. Reflect upon my word, for in it you find stories of real people who struggle just as you do, who faced tremendous giants, formidable fears, and towering uncertainties, yet witnessed my faithfulness in every generation. When you feel your faith is on the brink of faltering, turn to these testimonies as reminders of what I can do in the lives of those who remain steadfast and yield to my sovereign power. Let these stories kindle a fresh flame of hope within your heart, for the same God who led them victoriously also walks beside you now. Take hold of this legacy of faith and march forward with new strength. Consider the flowers that bloom each spring, how they push through cold earth, reaching for the sun and blossoming into splendid color. That same renewal is what I desire for your spirit, to emerge from seasons of dormancy into the fullness of life, reflecting my glory with every new chapter. Do not be discouraged by moments when you feel dormant. Those times are necessary for roots to grow deeper, for hearts to gain resilience. Embrace the cycle of renewal, trusting that if you remain anchored in my love, you will blossom in due season, radiating my light wherever you go. I see your earnest longing to impact the world around you, to make a difference, and to shine my love into places of darkness. And I commend your zeal. Keep your zeal grounded in me, and let your motivation flow from a heart that is ever learning from my gentleness and mercy. When your passion feels misunderstood or when you feel alone in your mission, remember that I stand beside you, strengthening you, and providing the resources necessary for the task at hand. Move forward in courage, for I will multiply your efforts, ensuring that your labor is never in vain. I know the weight you carry when you think of tomorrow, wondering how all the pieces of your life will fit together, and questioning whether you have the capacity to handle the uncertainties ahead. Let me remind you that I hold tomorrow in the palm of my hand, just as I hold you, and there is nothing beyond my ability to direct. Release your anxious thoughts, trusting that in every season I will supply what you need, just as the manna appeared daily for my children in the wilderness. Cherish this security and allow it to free your heart from anxious toil. If you find yourself tempted to isolate when challenges arise, thinking you must hide your weaknesses so that others might not judge or misunderstand, come to me instead, revealing your innermost struggles. I will never condemn you, but will gently guide you towards solutions and transformations that reflect my perfect will. Remember, there is strength in confession, healing in humility, and growth in vulnerability. Bring your heartaches, your temptations, and your confusion before me, confident that I handle each concern with tenderness, aiming to restore you to wholeness. I am actively weaving threads of blessing into the fabric of your life, even when it seems that life is tangled and frayed at the edges. What you see as random events or unfortunate coincidences can be stepping stones in my plan, shaping your character and directing your steps into unexpected avenues of blessing. Do not underestimate my creative power or the mysterious ways I work all things together for the good of those who love me. Believe that each day carries an opportunity to witness my favor and anticipate with joy the unveiling of my perfect tapestry. Sometimes you might feel a gentle nudge within, prompting you to reach out to someone who is hurting, to speak a word of encouragement, or to perform a kind act without expecting anything in return. I encourage you to follow these promptings, for they are often my Spirit leading you into divine appointments that will bless both you and the one in need. In loving others, you participate in my redemptive mission, radiating my grace into hearts that are yearning for hope. Trust the still, small voice, and let yourself be a messenger of comfort and love in this restless world. When you encounter moments of confusion, hearing conflicting messages and wondering which path aligns with my will, recall that I am not a God of chaos, but of clarity and peace. Seek me through prayer and my word, and wait upon my Spirit to provide the discernment you need, for I am eager to guide you along paths of righteousness. Do not rush ahead in fear, but cultivate an awareness of my presence that allows you to step forward with calm assurance. Remember, I am the Good Shepherd who leads you beside still waters and restores your soul, so trust my divine guidance. Let your confidence bloom from the knowledge that nothing in all creation can separate you from my love. Neither height nor depth, neither powers nor principalities, neither your own weakness nor your own strength can ever sever the bond I have formed with you. This love is not fragile but stands unshakable, a fortress in which you can find refuge at any time. Stand on this truth, for in that unwavering certainty, you will find a courage that outlasts any storm and a peace that surpasses understanding. I see how much you care for the people around you, how you yearn for their well-being, and how you often carry their burdens as if they were your own. While I commend your compassion, I also urge you to place them in my hands, for ultimately I am the one who can heal, restore, and guide them perfectly. Your role is to love and to pray, but let me be the burden bearer who knows the intricate details of every heart. Trust that my plans for them are good, and let your own heart rest from the weight of trying to fix what only I can redeem. Know that the forces of hopelessness and despair quake at the mention of my name, for I am the Lord of hope, and in me there is no room for the shadows of final defeat. When you declare my promises over your life, you align yourself with the unstoppable current of my purpose, releasing my authority into every struggle you face. Be bold in proclaiming my word, for it is sharper than any sword, equipped to cut through lies and establish truth in your mind and spirit. Step boldly into each day, wearing hope like a banner, for in my name you are an overcomer. I have set a destiny before you, a path of faith that leads you from glory to glory, shaping you more and more into a reflection of my love. As you walk this journey, you will encounter valleys that stretch your endurance, mountains that challenge your resolve, and deserts that test your trust, yet each step paves the way to a deeper communion with me. Through every season, I am molding you, refining the gold within, and stripping away what hinders your fullest potential. Embrace the process, for you are in the hands of a loving potter who shapes each vessel for a noble purpose. When your mind feels restless, overloaded by the sheer volume of tasks, worries, and distractions, find a quiet corner and call upon me. I will soothe the tumult of your thoughts, calm the turbulence of your emotions, and center your spirit in the peace that passes all understanding. In that quiet place of meeting, you will rediscover the stillness that awakens you to my presence. Pause often throughout your day, even if just for a moment, to reconnect with the source of all peace, for I am never far from you, and my peace is always within reach. Do not fear the path of growth, for with growth comes shedding old habits, stepping out of comfort zones, and confronting the aspects of yourself you would rather keep hidden. I invite you into a sacred transformation where my spirit gently breaks down walls of pride, insecurity, or bitterness, replacing them with humility, confidence in my promises, and an overflow of love. Though this process may at times feel like fire refining gold, the outcome is a brilliance you could not achieve on your own. Surrender to my craftsmanship, knowing that I mold you to shine with a beauty that honors your Creator. I smile when you hold on to hope, despite the shadows that attempt to extinguish your faith. Indeed, hope is the anchor of your soul, securing you in my truth through the raging tempest of life. Even when circumstances appear dire, hope whispers that I am still working, still leading, and still turning pages in your story that promise redemption and wonder. Cling to hope as you would cling to a lifeline, trusting that nothing is too broken for me to restore, and let each dawn bring a renewed conviction that I am near. When your relationships face conflict or misunderstanding, remember that a soft word can dispel the harshest anger, and a moment of empathy can heal 1,000 hurts. I encourage you to seek reconciliation, to approach disagreements with humility, and to be the first to extend a hand of peace. By doing so, you mirror my heart for unity, reflecting the peace I offer even in times of trouble. I stand with you in these moments, giving you the patience and wisdom needed to maintain loving connections, and I promise you that love never fails. In the complexity of life's decisions, when you are unsure which road to follow or which opportunity aligns with your purpose, turn to me without delay. I will open doors that no man can shut and close doors that lead you away from your true calling. Trust the discernment given by my Spirit as you weigh your options, for I have a panoramic view of your life and understand how each choice fits into the grand tapestry of eternity. Move forward with courage, for I will not allow your foot to slip when your heart is set on my ways. I am the one who understands you better than you understand yourself, who sees the potential you have yet to discover, and who calls you into tasks that will stretch your faith. Embrace the moments when I call you beyond what feels safe, for there you will discover my power at work within you. Do not shrink back out of fear, for I would not lead you where my grace cannot sustain you. Step boldly through the threshold of new challenges, trusting that I am strengthening you from the inside out for every good work prepared for you. You matter to me, and your contributions to this world carry eternal significance. Even if you think your everyday life is ordinary, each conversation, each decision, each gesture of kindness can become a channel of grace in my hands. Do not downplay the significance of your presence, for you bring a piece of my heart into every space you inhabit. Open your spirit to the possibilities I place in front of you, and never assume that any act of service or love is too small to leave a lasting impact. In your faithful living, my name is glorified, and my kingdom is revealed. When the days are bright and your heart is brimming with joy, remember to give thanks, for gratitude enhances your awareness of my blessings and nurtures a humble, content spirit. In acknowledging my hand at work, you invite even greater revelations of my goodness. Conversely, in times of adversity, a heart of thanksgiving can drive out complaining and despair, reminding you that my grace abounds in all circumstances. Cultivate gratitude as a daily practice and watch how it amplifies your faith, restoring your hope and reminding you that you are never outside my loving care. I see when you hesitate to receive help or love from others, feeling that you should be strong enough to stand alone. But I have designed community for your benefit, ensuring that you do not carry burdens in solitude. When friends, family, or even strangers extend a hand of kindness, it is often my provision manifesting in tangible form. Accept it with humility, understanding that interdependence is part of my grand design, and that in bearing one another's burdens, you all fulfill the law of love. Embrace the community I have placed around you, for in unity, miracles unfold. I call you to prayer, not as a ritual bound by endless rules, but as a sweet fellowship where my heart meets yours. Come to me with honesty. Share your deepest longings, your frustrations, your triumphs, and your disappointments. I want to hear them all. In prayer, you will find solace that nothing else can provide, and you will discover that I answer in ways that align with my perfect knowledge of what you truly need. Keep your dialogue with me open, for it is in this holy conversation that you learn to trust, to grow, and to walk in step with my spirit. Do not fear aging or the passage of time, for I am the Ancient of Days, ever present and unbound by human limitations, and I guide you with wisdom through every phase of life. Each season, youth, midlife, and the twilight years, carries unique opportunities for growth, service, and discovery of my faithfulness. Instead of mourning what you cannot do as years progress, rejoice in the depth of understanding and compassion that blossoms with maturity in me. Stand tall, knowing that even as your body weakens, your spirit can flourish in the knowledge and reflection of my eternal glory. When the future looms before you like an uncharted ocean, do not fear the unknown, for I have charted every wave, every current, and every safe harbor along the way. Though you may only see the horizon, I see far beyond it, orchestrating your path with infinite wisdom and unwavering love. Let the uncertainty become an invitation to trust me more deeply, to rest in the conviction that I lead you well, and to find peace in my sovereignty. Move forward into tomorrow, certain that I walk beside you, lighting your way with my radiant grace. I reaffirm your worth, child, for you are not defined by worldly accomplishments or failures, but by the immense love I have for you, a love that precedes your birth and surpasses every boundary. Carry that sense of worth within you as a shield against discouragement, a reminder that you are cherished beyond measure. Rejoice in this constant truth. I formed you with intention. I delight in your existence, and I will never cease to call you my beloved. Move through life with this unshakable identity, for it will anchor you in every storm and empower you to flourish in my plan. I bless you in this moment, blessing the dreams that lie dormant, the relationships you hold dear, and the purposes you have yet to fulfill. May you sense my hand upon your life, guiding and protecting, supplying wisdom in times of doubt, and pouring out compassion when you are weary. You do not walk this path alone, for I journey with you, upholding you with my righteous right hand, ensuring you do not stumble beyond my power to rescue. Embrace the peace I offer, knowing you are safe in my loving arms. I will not forsake you, no matter how many times you stumble or how often you feel unworthy of my affection. My covenant of grace is more robust than all your frailties combined, and my forgiveness stands ready to cover every iniquity you confess. Let my mercy wash over you, soothing the guilt that tries to cling to your soul, and realize that in my kingdom, repentance opens the doorway to restoration. Walk forward confidently, knowing you wear the robe of righteousness I have gifted, freed from the shadows of your past. In the hush of the night, when you wrestle with thoughts of inadequacy or fear, remind yourself of the countless times I have proven faithful throughout your life. Let your memory become a gallery of my interventions, from the smallest blessings to the greatest deliverances. Each recollection is a testament to my unchanging nature and a promise of my future involvement in your life. Drift into rest with a thankful heart, sure that just as I have been with you in days gone by, so I shall remain with you in all the days to come. Never doubt that I am stirring revival within your soul, awakening a hunger to know me more intimately, and igniting a passion for truth that transforms the very atmosphere around you. Give yourself wholeheartedly to that longing, pursuing me with all your might, because in that pursuit you will find fulfillment for your deepest desires. Do not settle for complacency, for I am limitless, and there is always more of my heart to discover, more depths of my love to explore. Press forward, child, and experience the wonder of a life lived in constant communion with your Creator. You stand at the threshold of new possibilities, glimpsing horizons you once thought were out of reach, and I want you to step through the door with faith. Abandon hesitation, knowing that my Holy Spirit empowers you to achieve what might seem impossible in your own strength. Keep your gaze on me, rather than the magnitude of the challenge. and you will find that each step is supported by my provision. I am cheering you on, confident in the destiny I have woven into your very being, and I assure you that as you follow my lead, you will not be disappointed. At times you might worry about failing me, about not living up to the calling I've placed upon your heart. But I tell you, your willingness to obey, even when you falter, brings me great joy. I see the sincerity of your efforts, the purity of your intentions, and my grace covers every shortfall. Keep moving forward, learning through each mistake and rising again with determination, for I measure success by your faithful heart, not by flawless execution. Trust in the power of my Spirit to perfect what concerns you, and rest in my unconditional acceptance. I breathe new life into your circumstances, especially those areas where you have felt stuck or disheartened, reminding you that I can bring streams of water to parched deserts and life to barren ground. Offer your situation to me, refusing to be shackled by cynicism or defeat, for I am the God of resurrection and breakthrough. Even when it seems like all hope is gone, do not count me out, because my timing is never delayed, and my intervention can burst forth at the most unexpected hour. Lift your eyes with expectation, anticipating my mighty hand at work in your life. In your moments of confusion and restlessness, recall that I have a plan for you, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope, as spoken by my prophets of old. Embrace that promise, believing that the challenges you face can become catalysts for growth and stepping stones toward the fullness of my intentions for you. Lay every concern at my feet, trusting that I excel in creating a pathway where none seem to exist. Grasp this hope with confidence, for my word does not return void. When bitterness or resentment seeks to root itself in your heart, urging you to hold on to wounds inflicted by others, remember that forgiveness is the path to liberty. I do not ask you to minimize the pain or excuse wrongdoing, but rather to trust me enough to release the heavy burden of vengeance and anger. In forgiving, you free yourself from chains that only serve to corrode your own spirit, and you invite my healing to mend what has been broken. Take the courageous step of forgiveness, believing that as you do, fresh mercy and grace will flood your life. I pour my Spirit upon you, that you may receive the peace which surpasses all understanding, a peace that quiets your anxieties and steadies your trembling soul. This peace is not tied to external circumstances, but is instead anchored in my eternal nature, unaffected by worldly tumult. Breathe deeply and let my presence fill every part of you, dissolving the knots of worry and fear. Yes, my peace is a precious gift, and as you cling to it, you will find the strength to endure any trial, confident that I walk beside you. Treasure the gift of prayer, for it is the key that unlocks the storerooms of heaven, allowing you to access resources beyond your human limitations. In prayer, your petitions rise like incense before me, and my heart responds with compassion, wisdom, and power. Do not be discouraged if answers seem delayed, for my understanding of the bigger picture may require certain timings you cannot yet fathom. Be persistent, child, lifting your voice with unwavering faith, for I am a loving Father who delights in blessing his children according to my perfect design. When you catch a glimpse of my glory in nature's wonders or in the kindness of a stranger, pause to acknowledge my presence, for I am constantly revealing myself to those who are willing to see. Let these glimpses remind you that I am intimately involved in your life, orchestrating encounters, highlighting blessings, and painting a masterpiece of grace with every sunrise. Cultivate a heart that notices my fingerprints in the everyday, and you will discover that you walk continually in the realm of miracle and wonder. Rejoice, for I am nearer than your very breath. I affirm that you are deeply loved, worthy of belonging and delight, fashioned not to wander as an orphan, but to flourish as a cherished member of my family. In those seasons when you feel displaced or disconnected from others, let my spirit remind you that your truest home is found in my unchanging affection. Bask in this assurance, refusing to let loneliness or rejection dictate your identity. You will always have a place at my table, and my door is always open to your heart. Stand firm, dear one, in the knowledge that I am your defender and friend, and that I celebrate every victory you achieve, no matter how small. Whether you are overcoming personal fears, reaching a long-sought goal, or finding the courage to make difficult changes, know that I stand beside you, championing your every step. Take comfort in my unfailing friendship, for I am a companion who does not withdraw in your hour of need. Carry on with confidence, for I delight in seeing you flourish under the banner of my favor. The journey of faith can seem like a winding road filled with surprise turns and unforeseen challenges, yet every step can draw you closer to my heart if you allow it. In the bends and twists, remain pliable in my hands, trusting that no matter where the path leads, I am orchestrating your growth. View each detour as an invitation to rely more fully on my perspective, which far exceeds the constraints of your human vision. Remember, I walk every mile with you, ensuring that you never traverse these roads unaided. As the day nears its close, remind yourself of my unwavering promises. I am for you, not against you. I love you with an everlasting love. I work all things together for your good when you trust in me. Let these truths carry you into a restful night's sleep, a time for your soul to be refreshed as you surrender your worries into my capable hands. Upon waking, greet the morning with renewed purpose, assured that my grace is sufficient for all that lies ahead. Rest now, beloved, and awaken with a heart ready to embrace the blessings I have arranged. I see within you a growing confidence, a stirring of faith that, while once hesitant, now begins to step with surer strides. Nurture that faith in the soil of my word, watering it with prayer, and watch it flourish into a tree whose roots reach deep into my eternal promises. Let fear fade in the face of such unwavering conviction, for I have not given you a spirit of timidity, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Stand strong, child, for the seeds of faith you plant today will yield a bountiful harvest in seasons to come. You are surrounded by spiritual realities that transcend what your physical eyes can see. And in my presence, you find the fullness of joy that your soul has been longing for. When worldly pressures make you question the very ground you stand on, lift your gaze and remember that I am with you, shining my light even in the darkest corners. Do not yield to despair, for in my realm hope never dies, joy endures and miracles abound. Be filled with courage to face each challenge, for I sustain you with my boundless power. Even in the midst of tears, remember that I collect each drop, understanding the language of your sorrow, and responding with compassion that knows no limit. My arms are open to you in your grief, never dismissing it, nor trivializing it, but guiding you gently toward healing waters. Let this comfort cradle your broken heart, for I mend every wound in my perfect time, and will not leave you comfortless. Lean on my love, and trust that I transform mourning into dancing, filling your mouth with laughter anew. I urge you to stay connected with other believers, to share the testimonies of how I have worked in your life, and to draw strength from the fellowship of those who also strive after righteousness. In unity, your light grows brighter, your prayers become more powerful, and your faith more resilient against adversity. Encourage one another with words of life, build each other up, and let love be the mark by which you are known. Where 2 or 3 gather in my name, I am there among them, transforming hearts and renewing minds. Consider every trial you face as an opportunity for your faith to deepen, your character to mature, and my glory to be manifested in your life. Though it is natural to pray for deliverance from hardships, also seek the lessons and refining they can bring, for I work through all circumstances for your ultimate good. By embracing growth in the midst of affliction, you stand in defiance of despair, choosing to believe that my grace outshines every difficulty. Rejoice in trials, for through them you emerge stronger, more compassionate, and more reliant on me. Draw near to me and worship, singing songs of praise that remind you of my greatness, declaring my nature to be holy, righteous, and forever worthy of adoration. As you lift your voice in devotion, the burdens of your heart begin to lift, and the atmosphere around you shifts to one of expectancy and awe. Embrace the power of praise, for it realigns your perspective, centers you on truth, and invites my presence to permeate every corner of your life. Continue in worship and discover that each moment offered in reverence ushers you deeper into my transforming love. I have seen the sacrifices you have made, the times you chose kindness over retaliation, generosity over self-preservation, patience over frustration, and I applaud every moment you place love above your own desires. Understand that I, the lover of your soul, am moved by acts of selfless devotion, storing up blessings for you that extend far beyond your immediate understanding. Keep sowing goodness wherever you go, knowing that each seed planted in love yields a harvest that furthers my kingdom on earth. Rejoice in this truth, for your labor of love never goes unseen. When you are tempted to numb your pain with temporary escapes, to chase fleeting pleasures that promise quick relief, remember that I alone can quench your deepest thirst. The world's offerings may glitter enticingly, but they fade quickly, leaving emptiness in their wake. I extend to you living water, a wellspring of my spirit that refreshes, renews, and satisfies beyond anything this world can provide. Drink freely, dear child, and find in me the fullness of joy and purpose that your heart has long desired. Press on, holding fast to the convictions that I have placed in your heart, even when the journey feels uphill and progress seems slow. The steps of faithfulness you take day by day are weaving a beautiful legacy, imparting courage to future generations who will learn from your perseverance. Imagine the ripple effect your life will have, as each act of obedience inspires someone else to trust my promises. Be resolute, beloved, for my grace empowers you to stand firm, testifying to my faithfulness in every season. Look up and see the stars that I have placed in the heavens, each one named and held in place by my command, a reminder that nothing is too vast or too complex for my infinite power. If I can sustain the cosmos, how much more will I sustain you, my treasured creation, whom I have formed in my image? Let awe of my majesty shatter every limiting belief about your circumstances, and stand secure in the knowledge that my mighty hand upholds you. Dream big dreams in my presence, for I am well able to bring them to fruition. I leave you now with an unwavering promise. My love for you will never fade, nor will my commitment to your well-being ever waver. I bless you and your family, saturating every aspect of your life with my peace, my joy, and my boundless favor. Walk forward with a renewed spirit, certain that the best is yet to come, because I, the one who calls you beloved, have spoken life over your destiny. Embrace the goodness that lies before you, for you are forever held in my everlasting embrace.